Well, hello there and welcome to issue number 88, and this issue is all about the Cancerian rabbit. And as you can see on the caption prior to the video, those are all the dates you have to be to fall into this Eastern and Western astrological combination. But if there's any questions you've got for me about any dates, etc., or after the video, please don't hesitate, drop me a line, email, anything like that, or comment on the vid, and I'll get back to you straight away. Okay, let's start with the Cancerian rabbit in the beginning. You know, preschool, nursery, going into primary school. What sort of character, what sort of child are they going to be? Are you going to be bringing up, or were they, or are they going to be? Well, the Cancerian child seems to be a bit tentative, especially in groups. They're a little bit ones to sit back, and they are very governed by their emotions, so they tend to miss home quite easily. They're a tough one to get to school sometimes, but with the rabbit in the mix, it makes them a lot more talkative, and they tend to break the apron strings a bit, you know, quite quickly. The boys as well, you know, they tend to be a little bit more independent feeling. You know, they're not so insular, and they find it quite a bit easier to talk in class, quite a bit easier making friends, can be a bit of a chatterbox even, and so this really lends to the Cancerian having been born in the rabbit years. It does lend them to be a little bit more expressive and a little bit more open, rather than being insular and only feeling comfortable at home or in the familiar surroundings. So they take to school quite well, which is a really big bonus for the parents, because, as I say, Cancerian children can be a little bit of a worry in that sense, where they feel as though they might be a little bit isolated. They get very emotional, so they can get upset quite quickly. But with this in the mix, it takes away a lot of that worry. So the parents and siblings will feel a lot more confident that they're doing well, or that they're at least settling down a lot easier than some of the others do. So if we take them through the school years, yes, they'll be a little bit of a chatterbox, but they'll do adequately enough. They won't be unruly at all. They'll be doing just enough to get through. Very sociable, as I say, and very kind-hearted as well. So the natural Cancerian kindness will always be there, but as I say, expression will be a lot better. So you'll find that they breeze through their school years quite well. And as we've talked about, the Cancerians can be a little bit prone to being promiscuous in their teenage years, later teenage years, because they're very driven, they're very emotive. They can act really spontaneously sometimes on their emotions, especially when the moon's buzzing. They can do some really quite peculiar things, find themselves into quite unusual situations. But with the rabbit there, that little bit of streetwiseness, I think this will help them in that sense, and they won't be so easily, you know, seeking just pleasure for that odd night and stuff. I think it will help them quite a bit. They look for a bit more intellectual stimulation maybe, or a little bit more compatibility. I would like to see them settle down early 20s, later teens even, because the rabbit and the Cancerian really respond to family. They really respond to their own family as well as their extended. They really respond having becoming parents early. They love that responsibility, and they really warm to it, and they need that, and I think it makes them feel whole. If they do tend to drift through without a family, or without any sort of real focus, as it were, the promiscuity can stay there for a little while longer, and the job security can drift a little bit. They can have their head turned to maybe better positions that are coming up, or they may look like that on the surface. They're not so prone to stick with security if they haven't got that anchor role of, you know, getting into a relationship, getting into a family very early. And this works wonders for this combination. they really do respond, and you get all the goodness coming out of the rabbit's love of security, making the home a beautiful, comfortable place, always providing for the children. And the Cancerian loving their home. They love their homes. They love to cook. They love to fresh cook. They love to just make everything as the best out of whatever they've got. Even from humble beginnings, they will work up. They make their home a real little heaven. And you know, and their partner will always be happy because, you know, when they come in, they might have had a tough day. Everything's going to be pucker for them. Everything's going to be great. You know, they know there's going to be beautiful food on the table. You know, fresh flowers, etc. It's just going to be a nice place to be, and it's a great place to bring up children because there's security for children. There's not spats of rows, etc. Not with the Cancerian rabbit. Yes, they may have a little nag. Yes, that's possible. They can be a little bit picky sometimes, but they're not overly in front of the children. They love the children to feel happy, and as long as they're happy, they feel good in themselves. They feel as though they're being very useful, and they're needed, and that security is all that they need. As I say, they can make the best out of what they've got. They can make a little bit of money go very far, so very resourceful in that sense. The rabbit being very good with cash, and so is the Cancerian, so they can make it go quite a long way, and you know, they can keep clear of debts, etc. They're not ones for loaning cash. They like to be independent in that sense, and you know, they cut their cloth accordingly, which is good. And I think they get rewarded in the end. Sometimes it's a bit of a battle for them, but they do get rewarded in the end just for their solidity. Because if you're moving here, there, and everywhere, or you're juggling your life, that's when money drifts away. The Cancerian rabbit knows this, so they tend to say, right, this is where we are, let's do the best we can. And that's what makes them an excellent partner, in my opinion. Very, very good partner. As I say, they can nag a little, but hey, you know, it shows that they care. But it's not in a nasty way. It's a little bit of, you know, they might go into one about untidiness maybe, etc. Or you know, they might have a little moan about the cash, but they forget it and they get on with it. And I say they like their home, they like their TV programmes, they love their series on telly, so they've got plenty of things that they like to do, and plus their hobbies, as I say, with cooking, and they love the garden, and you know, and they're good entertainers as well. They will have friends popping in, and they enjoy going around their houses because they make it a comfortable and a nice environment. So, what are the perfect matches for the Cancerian rabbit? Well, with the rabbit, I think the pig is an excellent match because the security again, the pig will provide the cash as well, and their cash will go a long way. So there won't be so many worries about that. So if we look at the pigs, if we look at the Scorpio pig, the Virgo pig, we've got to look at the Pisces pig and the Taurian pig. They're all very, very strong matches, and you'll both be very, very happy in your home. The one thing with the Cancerian rabbit, they can get a little bit distant sexually as relationships go on, but the pig's got that intensity, they've got that patience, and they continue to make the rabbit feel good about themselves and make them feel wanted in that way, which can break down them barriers. Sometimes the Cancer rabbit can bring up sexual barriers, but they're there to break them down and soften them up a little. And also, I really love to see the rabbits and the goats together because the goat's so gentle and cajoling. The rabbit will have to take the lead, but there's such a nice, loving atmosphere in this relationship where they're both looking out for each other. They're both very tender to each other. They're both wary that they're both very sensitive. And there's a lot of, you know, a lot of respect there, and I like these two to get together early as well because both gives them a focus. The goat will go and work long hours. The rabbit will if they have to. So they really will put themselves out for each other. And as I say, parenting, they'll love that. They'll be very, very strong. So let's look for the Virgo goat, the Scorpio goat, the Piscean goat, and the Taurus goat. All fantastic, strong matches. The ones we have to avoid, well, the Cancer rabbit is no different to any of the other rabbits or in the collection, and it's roosters, because roosters, yes, very strong hard workers, but they're a little bit hard, they're a little bit tough for the rabbit. The rabbit may find that the bickering's getting out of control with the rooster because they're very tough, very independent. And you've got to remember, the rabbit likes to feel needed, it likes that security. The rooster is a little bit of a independence person, and they would rather that the rabbit was being maybe a little bit more so than clinging to them, and then you end up just upsetting each other, and that's quite a shame, really. Could make friends at a push, but there's too much for emotions to get hurt here, and then the rooster will just think, oh, they keep rabbiting on, they keep nagging at me, I'm not having it, and then they end up getting real tough, and then it gets to the nasty standoffs and even sometimes shouting wars, which, hey, nobody needs. So let's avoid all roosters, please, Cancerian rabbits. If we have to look at health-wise with the Cancerian rabbit, well, we have to look at the security of the home. Can sometimes not really help with weight problems. Also check the thyroid out and things like that, because there can be a weight imbalance sometimes. They're prone to putting on weight because of their love to be around the home, their love for comfort. I advise them, keep the sports going if you like sports, or get into something, the gym or something where you're you're getting at least 1 or 2 days activity a week, just to help with that, because your love of luxury, it's not a bad thing, and especially when you're happy, you tend to eat quite well, so it's not a bad thing. But remember, the older you get, the harder it is to lose, so just be watchful of that, especially in the later 20s, etc. It can really sort of pile on quite quickly, so just trying to address that, and as I say, thyroid imbalances anywhere around the neck can be a problem for the Cancerian rabbit. Okay, thank you for tuning into this episode, and please tune in for the next one. Thank you, bye.